Right now, at least 3 major wildfires are burning out of control in Los Angeles, fueled by powerful Santa Ana winds. And there are fears in San Diego that we could see a similar fire here. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Today we learned that the fire in LA's Eaton Canyon, that's the one above Altadena, that killed 5 people. And the Pacific Palisades fire is now the most destructive in LA city history, with an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed. It's now measured at nearly 16,000 acres, but it's still growing.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney is in Pacific Palisades for us. Shannon Handy is with CAL FIRE to show us how our fire crews are getting ready. Kelly Hezedal has the latest from SDG on power safety, and meteorologist Evan Narani is tracking the winds on this weather impact alert day.
We're going to start out in Los Angeles with Alex. Alex?
Anna and Carlo, it is a tragic, devastating situation right now in the Pacific Palisades. This is just one example of that. I'm sure at one time this was just a beautiful ranch home, but it is now, it's gone. It's completely flattened. And if we keep walking down this street, we are near Sunset Boulevard in the Pacific Palisades. You can see that the fire ran from the corner and just went house to house to house. Maybe 4 or 5 of these beautiful $1 million homes in a row are absolutely just gutted now by these horrible flames that are just ripping through. Once a beautiful family home, and now, as you can see, this is the type of destruction that we are seeing all over the Pacific Palisades. Complete malls getting ripped through, neighborhoods, households, houses in a row, maybe 4 to 5 on the exact same street. All of those houses getting destroyed. We're going to remember these fires as the next chapter in all the horrible fires in the history of Southern California. My photographer and I, Kenny, walked around a little bit earlier. Here's some more of what we saw. We're on Sunset Boulevard in the Pacific Palisades area, and this is just a Chase Bank, somewhere you go maybe every day just to drop something off. And as you can see, this building is now fully engulfed. I don't think they're going to be able to save this at all. You can see that the fire started from the top of the building, and now the entire roof has collapsed. You can see some of the siding and some of the really base metal of this building is now being exposed because of those flames. As you can see, that smoke, that fire is moving fast. Those winds are just so strong through this area. And now they're starting to push them into other areas of this little shopping center here, shops, cafes, you know, really sort of everyday stuff. LA has these all over the place. It's kind of a single unit, but there's multiple all throughout here. And you can see the fire is completely all through the apartment, the condo. That is somebody's home. Somebody used to live there. Somebody pays rent there. Somebody loves that place and had all their belongings in there. And as you can see, this building is getting absolutely completely ripped apart right now. There's lots of embers in the air, flames all the way from the street all the way up into the building, taking out the top floor, the bottom floors. This building is now a complete loss, and my heart goes out to whoever once called this beautiful place home. All right, back out here live. We've been watching this house come down for about the last hour or so. It's not just the houses, but it's the cars as well. You got a Range Rover here. You can't really see it, but the front is just completely burned out. There's a lot of chemicals. There's lots of different things within the homes. We've been hearing pops at times, and all those pops are different things exploding, releasing just different items that might be in the home, anywhere from shampoo to maybe items within the fridge, right? That's all in there for all those houses, and that is what is burning right now. The wind continues to whip. It continues to be very strong. Really, this fire started at the house on the corner, and then the wind continued to push this fire. Wind driven, just going house to house like a domino effect, and it is just a terrible situation out here. This will be remembered as one of just the absolute worst fires in the history of Southern California. This will be remembered for a long time. I've been working in Southern California for a long time. I've never seen anything like this. This is just a terrible situation. My heart goes out to everyone affected by this.
Alex, in those neighborhoods, all we've seen in your live shots are fire crews. Does it look like everyone took the message and got out? Everyone just evacuated and left their homes?
It does seem like everyone got out. I think people really did a great job on heeding the warnings. We have seen a few people come by on bikes. We are, however, in an area where you do need to be, you either need to live here or you need to be some sort of emergency personnel or a member of the media to kind of get past those gates. So they're not really letting anybody back into this area right now. We got to see a few people on bikes over there, but yeah, it's pretty barren out here. Mostly just those fire crews and some members of the media. But I think people did a really great job on evacuating.
On that street where you're on, Alex, are there any homes that are okay, that have survived? Because I know how it can jump sometimes, but or did it just sweep through and wipe them out?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're gonna turn around for you, and we have some houses that are completely fine. So it's really just that side of the street. We're gonna come up here. We've still got some spots with some Christmas decorations up, but on the corner here, that house, as you can see, is fine. So it's really, it just depends on where it sparks, and then it keeps heading down the street. So this side of the street, completely devastated. The other side is doing just fine. This is the first house we came across earlier at about 2:30 this afternoon, and really, you can see the smoke and all the wind really driving this fire still. This was once a really nice house here in the Pacific Palisades, and unfortunately, it is no more.
All right, our Alex Cheney reporting live for us from Pacific Palisades. Just a devastating scene there. Thanks, Alex.
It's hard to get your mind around the fact wildfires we're thinking of in those canyons up on those mountains. This is in subdivisions.
You know, we got almost a preview of this type of fire a couple of years ago in Lahaina. Looks like the same kind of thing. But this seemed to start in a populated area, in neighborhoods. We haven't found out exactly where it started yet, but this isn't like the Cedar Fire that we had, where it started out in wilderness, and we had a little bit of a lead up to it. This just ripped through neighborhoods instantly. It's catastrophic. It's almost unbelievable.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard, shopping centers. I mean,
like,
this is really hard to wrap your head around, and we're only beginning to touch the scope of this.
And with those fires still burning in the Los Angeles area and resources there stretched so thin, crews here in San Diego are on high alert.
Yeah, we've got the winds here. CBS 8's Shannon Handy joins us live from CAL FIRE headquarters with what they're doing to ensure we're still covered. Shannon?
Well, Carlo and Anna, no surprise, CAL FIRE crews are not taking any chances. So far, they've only sent overhead personnel to LA. Those are the managers, the people that actually don't fight the fire, but they kind of work behind the scenes to manage things having to do with the fire. So besides sending some overhead personnel from San Diego to LA, they have all of their ground crews staying put here in San Diego. Not only that, but they also have crews from Fresno and Madera counties here in San Diego, just in case.
CAL FIRE, and specifically CAL FIRE San Diego, has increased staffing throughout the county. We've canceled days off to increase our staffing and to be prepared for any emergency.
That was CAL FIRE Captain Robert Johnson. He says what we're seeing to the north of us is a prime example as to why they do not consider fire season a seasonal event. It's year-round. That's especially true now as Southern California hasn't seen any measurable rain in months. Captain Johnson says dry vegetation combined with low humidity and Santa Ana winds are a recipe for disaster, which is exactly what's happening in Los Angeles. That's why they've staffed up, so they have crews ready to go here as soon as possible. Also helping out are those who work behind the scenes inside the command center. They're using technology to monitor the weather, track fires, and deploy crews.
Our mission is to keep fires less than 10 acres. So we want to get out there as soon as possible. So this actually helps with our response time.
And coming up new for you at 5 o'clock, I'll show you more inside the command center, as well as how AI is assisting fire crews in helping fight and prevent wildfires. Carlo and Anna?
Shannon, you did mention that CAL FIRE is keeping crews here except for some overhead personnel. Are there any other local firefighters who are helping out up in Los Angeles?
Yeah, we did reach out to city crews. Keep in mind, again, CAL FIRE is different from, say, San Diego Fire. And we did learn that the Office of Emergency Services did actually send several local crews to the LA region. They sent a strike team, and that includes firefighters from Carlsbad, Coronado, San Diego, National City, Chula Vista, and Poway. So they are all there in LA helping. But I want to remind our viewers, I know it's scary when we have similar conditions and we're seeing what happens in LA. So when we are sending crews to places like that, keep in mind people here in San Diego, just like here at CAL FIRE or the city crews, they are still keeping themselves staffed enough in case something happens here, which hopefully it doesn't.
And you've shown us out there where you are before, Shannon, that bank of monitors, all the cameras that are pointed out in our wilderness and rural areas. I know they are keeping an eye on things to make sure they see it as soon as something, if it were to happen. Thanks so much for showing that to us.
And SDG&E says the wildfire risk here is so high that they started to shut off power for thousands of people in San Diego County last night.
CBS 8's Kelly Hezedal joins us live from SDG&E with the very latest on this. Kelly?
That's right, and we've been monitoring these shutoffs all day long. This morning, the number was around 7,000. Right now, it's nearly 9,000 customers without power. So let's go ahead and show you that outage map right now, if we could. All the red areas that you see, that is where power is currently shut off now. All of the orange spots, those are communities that are at risk of having their power shut off. Again, around 9,000 customers are without power, but the potential number of customers that could be affected is close to 60,000. Now, a meteorologist with SDG&E talked to reporters yesterday and made it clear that the next week could be rough. Here's what he said about extreme fire days.
It's the first extreme we've ever seen in January. And not only that, it's multiple extreme days back to back. So we're walking into a bit of an uncharted fire potential for us.
And SDG&E has opened community centers where people can go to charge their phones, get water. We have a list of some of the places up on your screen. We went to the one at the Descanso Library today. Not many people were there about midday, but it's certainly possible the numbers increased as the day went on. So back out here live, as for that outage map, it is updated regularly, and they actually have a thing on there where you type in your address and it'll tell you if you're at risk of having your power shut off. We have that have that link up on our website, cbs8.com. Click on the help button. Anna and Carlo.
Okay, that link is helpful, Kelly. A lot of places dealing with these public safety power shutoffs are the same communities that just went through this last month. So do you have any idea when SDG&E might turn the power back on?
Yeah, and I do think that there's a little bit of frustration with that. I mean, SDG&E will say that they will turn the power back on when it is safe to do so. But as I said, you know, we're talking about potential back-to-back extreme fire days. So it's going to depend if there's damage in any of these power lines. We're just going to have to wait and see. Last month, they got things turned back on pretty quickly. So hopefully that will be the case this month. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, we know it's not as simple as just flipping a switch either. It takes some time to get power fully restored. Kelly Hessedal reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.
And some areas of San Diego's backcountry have seen very intense winds today.
Meteorologist Evan Narani is in for Carlene today as the latest on the impacts from this dangerous weather here. Evan.
Yeah, we're still watching for some pretty intense winds across our eastern valleys pushing into the mountains. Take a look at where those speeds are as we speak right now. They're a bit around, the single digits closer to the coast, in the teens closer to the inland valleys. And then as you get towards Sill Hill, Alpine, Campo, you've got 30+ mile per hour wind gusts coming through. So these are still pretty breezy offshore conditions. Critical fire danger for San Diego County continuing, despite the fact that we do not have the same fires popping up in our area as other parts of the state. LA is who we're speaking to specifically there. Looking at conditions as far as your temperatures go, Santa Ana winds tend to induce some warmer than normal temperatures, and that's what we have out there. Low 70s, even some mid 70s to work with. Clear skies as those Santa Anas push the clouds offshore. Take a look at where our peak wind gusts were earlier today. Rancho Heights, just up toward the Temecula area, Palomar Mountain region, coming in at 68 miles per hour. Pine Valley, 60 miles per hour. Cuyamaca, 59, and Alpine, 46. So the plus side here to the forecast is that we have essentially reached our peak, and we're expected to see, as you can see across Pine Valley, those wind speeds and wind gusts dying down over the next several hours. But the bad news here is that we are going to stay above criteria level. A red flag warning and high wind warning both stay in effect all the way through Friday. We'll have more details on what to expect coming up in just a bit, Carlo and Anna. But in the meantime, still very dangerous fire conditions across San Diego County, although we don't have those same fires that have popped up.
All right, that is some good news. Evan Narani reporting for us.